materials. Against the backdrop of higher oil prices, driving electric vehicles typically brings increasing cost advantages over ICE vehicles, allowing for greater growth opportunities in the mid to high-end BEV market, which is the target segment for our smart EVs. This market also features a vast array of consumers who attach more importance to EV quality and technologies. Therefore, 2022 will be a crucial year for each EV maker to validate their product's competitiveness. Looking ahead, as we pursue rapid technology and product iterations, we'll continue to strengthen the overall competitiveness of our products. I'm confident that our sales performance will continue to lead the industry.
那么关于交付量，尽管疫情影响了部分地区的交付节奏，凭借着在2月份对造型工厂技术升级，加上
welcoming a new level of large orders in March, which will be similar to our peak level last year, and that will help us definitely to enhance our market share and maintain our leadership position.
我们对于几款核心的产品在2022年的销量当前充满信心。P7 在2021年的交付量超过了6万台。在 B 级跟以上的纯电轿车中间排名前3，属于当之无愧的爆款车型，也已经是智能化汽车的标杆车型。随着 P7 产能的提高跟口碑的积累，我们将在今年这个冲击 P7 单月交付量破1万台的目标。
Our confidence about the sales volume potential of our core EV products has extended into 2022. We delivered over 60,000 P7s in 2021, placing it in the top 3 Class B BEVs and above by sales volume, making it an indisputable blockbuster model and setting P7 as a new benchmark smart EV in China. With the buildup of P7's production capacity and reputation, one of our goals in 2022 is to exceed 10,000 P7 deliveries in a single month.
P5 是在2021年4季度正式开始交付的，第一个季度交付了近8000台车。随着供应链的改善以及 P5 的城市 NGP 的推出，我相信 P5 销量会持续爬坡。如果供应链问题会进一步缓解，那么我们有信心 P5 的月销量会在下半年逐步接近 P7 的销量。
We officially commenced mass deliveries of our P5 family sedan model in the fourth quarter of 2021, delivering close to 8,000 units in its initial quarter debut. With supply chain improvement and our city NGP launch, we can expect a more consistent ramp up in sales volume of the P5. As supply chain constraints ease off in the coming months, I'm confident the P5's monthly sales volume will begin to approach that of the P7 in the second half of the year.
旗舰 SUV 车型 G9， 那么当前 PT 生产样车已经从工厂下线了，我们计划 G9 将在3季度正式上市发售。那么 G9 呢，代表了小鹏汽车在过去数年坚持软件和硬件自主、核心硬件自主研发的最高的技术水平，产品力我们相信大幅度领先于当前市场同级的 SUV 热销车型。那么我相信 G9 将会在今年也成为智能纯电中大型 SUV 市场中间的爆款。
Next EV model in line for us is our flagship SUV model, the G9. Its PT production vehicle has successfully rolled off the production line, and we are on track to officially launch the G9 in the third quarter. The G9 represents the most advanced technology Xpeng has ever developed, building on years of in-house developed software and core hardware. Consequently, the performance of our G9 is head and shoulders above popular SUV models in the same category. I firmly believe the G9 will become a blockbuster model in the medium to large size smart electric SUV market.
我们还计划在2023年推出2个全新车型平台的首款车型。那么这2个平台包括了一个面向 C 级车和一个面向 B 级车的平台。这2个全新的平台将会继承跟发展小鹏汽车持续领先的在美学设计能力、电动化能力跟我们的智能驾驶能力，扩大我们的产品竞争优势。除此之外，我们会通过平台规模化、更高度集成的设计和更先进的制造工艺，例如超大型一体化压铸。那么新平台会帮助我们获得非常强的成本控制能力，在增长潜力巨大的中高端市场，帮助我们覆盖更广泛的客户群。
Furthermore, we plan to launch the first production model built on our 2 newly established smart EV platforms, respectively, in 2023. These 2 new platforms, comprising a platform tailored for C-class vehicles and the other for B-class vehicles, will inherit and further advance Xpeng's robust capabilities in aesthetic design, electrification, and smart technology, thus strengthening our product portfolio's competitive advantages. In addition, as we strive to make our platforms more scalable by employing more highly integrated design and state-of-the-art manufacturing processes such as ultra-large integrated die casting technology, the new platforms will also enact powerful cost control abilities, as well as help us address a broader customer base in the mid to high-end market segments, which have tremendous growth potential.
分享关于智能化的一些进展。在4季度交付的 P7 跟 P5 中间 ，Xpeng 3.0 的软件渗透率接近 20%。当前，这个以 P5 为主要使用的 Xpeng 3.5 的核心功能城市 NGP 研发进展顺利。我们看到测试的版本正在快速的迭代，每一个版本的安全性跟体验都在提升。我们计划在今年的2季度完成城市 NGP 的技术开发。那么当在获得城市高精地图的相关审批后，我们将分批逐步的支持这个各个城市 NGP 的这个相关的城市数量来进行 OTA。那我们感到非常兴奋的是，基于全新架构的 Xpeng 3.5 在城市的场景的表现远超我们最开始的预期。在 P5 的量产车上，我们现在城市 NGP 的每100公里接管次数已经开始接近了高速的 NGP。综合体验，我们正在对标中国国内头部的Noble Taxi 公司，我们已经看到在相当方面已经达到一致，甚至在部分方面已经赶超。
Next, I would like to share some updates on R&D of our smart EV technologies. For our P7 and P5 models delivered in the fourth quarter, the attach rate of the Xpilot 3.0 software was close to 20%. Currently, the progress on the R&D of our city NGP, the key function of Xpilot 3.0, which is mainly deployed on P5, is well advanced. Its beta version is undergoing a fast iteration process, making continuous improvement in safety and user experience. We also plan to complete the development of our city NGP in second quarter of this year and plan to roll out in cities by batches once we receive the approval of the city HD map. The Xpilot 3.5 that is built on our next generation technology architecture has presented much higher than expected performance in the city driving scenarios. We are extremely proud of this. Notably, among our mass-produced P5s, the number of driver interventions per 100 kilometers for city NGP is approaching that of highway NGP, and the level of its overall user experience can be benchmarked against domestic top robotaxi players. And in some respects, we already have caught up and even exceeded those companies' performances.
那么基于 Xpeng 3.5 的全新架构体系跟数据闭环的基础上，我们计划在2023年正式推出 Xpeng 4.0， 实现高速跟城市类全场景的智能辅助驾驶，并且逐步在这个基础上统一新车型的智能辅助驾驶硬件和软件平台。我们计划在2023年内最少有4款车型，那么包含新车跟现有车型的改款车，可以支持 Xpeng 4.0。那么借此，我们相信相比行业内其他量产的智能辅助驾驶系统， 4.0 会有明显的技术上的代差，这意味着 在保障高度安全的前提下 ，Xpeng 4.0 会具备更全面的使用场景、更广泛的地域覆盖以及更好的交互跟驾乘体验，并且我们要把它的成本给控制好。我们相信 Xpeng 4.0 将会普及高阶智能辅助驾驶，推动整个汽车交通从手动驾驶到一个新的时代，也就是人机共驾时代的到来。在那个时候 ，Xpeng 4.0 的软件渗透率相比现在的渗透率，我们认为会有明显的提高。
Given the underlying next-generation technology architecture of our XPilot 3.5 and our closed loop of data, we plan to officially launch the XPilot 4.0 in 2023 to deliver advanced driving assistance experiences spanning full scenarios of both highways and city roads. Simultaneously, we plan to progressively converge our autonomous driving hardware and software platform that enables advanced driving assistance systems for our future vehicle models. There will be at least 4 models, including both new models and facelift versions of existing models, to support the XPilot 4.0 in 2023. With that, our XPilot 4.0 will boast a clear next-generation leap against other mass-produced advanced driver assistance systems. Simply put, under the premise of offering superior safety, the XPilot 4.0 will feature a more comprehensive set of use scenarios, even wider geographical coverage, and a better human-vehicle interface and in-vehicle experience for both drivers and passengers. In addition to that, we will control the cost of that production. We believe that our XPilot 4.0 has the potential to spread high-level advanced driver assistance system to an even broader customer base, accelerating the transformation from human driving to the era of advanced driver-assisted driving. When this becomes reality in the future, the attach rate of the XPilot software will naturally be significantly higher than its current level.
我们会坚持软件全站自研，以及在智能系统跟动力系统的平台化技术。通过这些系统的平台，我们将推动我们在动力系统、制造工艺以及整个 BOM 的成本体系上的巨大变革。我相信通过这场升级跟变革，我们在新车型上的毛利率，包括G9以及公司整体的毛利率将会有结构性的改变。我们中长期的目标是将公司的整体毛利率提升到 25% 以上。与此同时，我们将会坚持我们的创业精神跟经营思维，不断提升运营效率。我相信在规模效应、经营能力的提高下，我们的过项费用率将会持续的下降。
We will continue to advance and improve product performance. Also, we will continue to be committed to our in-house full-stack software development and a platform architecture approach to develop and upgrade our intelligence systems and power chain systems for smart EVs. Applying a platform architecture approach to our system management will propel innovations in our power chain, manufacturing techniques and processes, as well as a BOM cost structure. I have confidence in our ability to achieve structural improvement of gross margin for our new models, including G9, and ultimately improve overall gross margin. Our medium and long-term goal is to increase the level of our overall gross margin above 25%. At the same time, we'll remain dedicated to our vision and execute on our founding strategy and operational literacy to continually boost operational efficiency. Going forward, as we achieve economies of scale while improving operating leverage, I believe our operating expense ratio will continue to trend downward.
下面我来介绍一下我们在战略布局上的一些进展和规划。
With that overview, I would like to walk you through a few of our strategic initiatives and expectations moving forward.
小鹏的销售跟服务网络继续扩张，截止到2021年年末，357个销售店覆盖了129个城市，其中有209个直营店，148个授权店。在2021年，我们前瞻性的布局了渠道下沉的策略，以把握非一线城市的爆发的需求跟增长机遇。那么到去年的年底，我们在一线城市以外的销售店占比已经接近了80%。 那么他们基本上都是在去年的年底或者下半年部署。在网络迅速发展的同时，2021年单店的月销量在每个季度都有显著的进步，这反映了我们销售体系整体能力跟效率的加强。那么在2022年，我们会继续完善销售网络的布局跟提升店效。
We've rapidly expanded our sales and services network. As of the end of 2021, Xpeng's physical sales network comprised 357 stores across 129 cities, of which 209 were directly operated by us and 148 were franchise stores. In particular, during 2021, we strategically increased our investment in sales channels in lower tier areas in order to tap into pent-up demand and capture the great growth potential we see in non-tier 1 cities. As a result, we closed the year with our non-tier 1 sales stores accounting for close to 80% of total Xpeng stores, and most of those performance and sales were achieved during the second half of the year. While we drove rapid network expansion, throughout 2021, our monthly single store sales increased substantially on a sequential order basis, reflecting our sales model capability to make systemic enhancement as well as sustain efficiency improvement. For 2022, we'll continue to strengthen our sales network expansion and enhance same-store performance.
那么在充电网络布局的方面，覆盖更广、体验更好的小鹏超充已经成为小鹏汽车当前的重要竞争优势。那么截止到2022年1月17日，小鹏汽车的品牌超充站已经达到813座，覆盖全国337个城市。那么从2022年下半年开始，我们将部署下一代高功率超充，进一步大大缩短用户的充电时间。我们同时也会加强在高速公路沿线的超充站的部署，以更好地支持小鹏用户在长途出行的需求。
Regarding our supercharging network, Xpeng branded supercharging facilities featuring wide coverage and a better user experience have already become a critical factor in Xpeng's competitive edge. As of January 17th, 2022, the number of Xpeng branded supercharging stations increased to 813, covering 337 cities nationwide. Beginning in the second half of 2022, we'll deploy next-generation high-capacity supercharging to further shorten users' charging sessions significantly. We also plan to accentuate efforts in deploying supercharging stations alongside high-speed expressways to bring users better, more secure long-distance traveling experiences with Xpeng's vehicles.
在海外市场的拓展方面，2022年2月份，我们宣布与欧洲头部经销商集团达成了战略合作协议，借助海外经销商体系的成熟经验，帮助小鹏汽车进行海外市场的布局。我们在欧洲的首个直营的体验店已经在斯德哥尔摩正式开业。我们将在海外采用和中国国内类似的直营加授权的创新零售模式，来夯实欧洲乃至全球的销售跟服务网络。
Along with these upgrades, we are actively progressing our overseas expansion initiatives. To this end, we announced in February 2022 we had established partnerships with top-tier European dealers. By leveraging the well-established market presence of respected overseas dealers, we strive to build our international business development capabilities and have established the first branded European retail experience stores for our smart EVs in Stockholm, Sweden. We also plan to adopt a novel direct plus franchise retail model, which is what we are doing right now in China, to expand our sales and service network in Europe.
在资本市场方面，2月9日，小鹏汽车正式纳入了港股通，成为首个进入港股通的造车新势力。我们非常高兴能够有更多的内地投资者在一起分享智能电动汽车行业的增长机会。在3月7日，小鹏汽车作为恒生科技指数智能化主题的代表公司，正式成为恒生科技指数的30只成分股之一。
On February 9th of this year, Xpeng were included in the Shenzhen and Shanghai Hong Kong Stock Connect programs. we officially became the first emerging EV maker stock to be accessible for direct investment by qualified investors in mainland China. We're delighted to share the growth opportunities in the smart EV industry with broader investor base from our home country. Shortly thereafter, on March the 7th, Xpeng was added to the Hang Seng Tech Index among 30 constituent stocks as one of representative stocks for the autonomous tech theme.
回顾2021年，我们面临了行业性的芯片和电芯短缺的挑战。在此，我特别要感谢我们的优秀供应商对我们的鼎力支持。为了应对各种挑战，我们在去年开发和验证了数百个替代的供应方案，以保障供应链的稳定。在2022年，我相信行业还会面临芯片短缺跟电池原材料成本上升的挑战。但是我相信从中期和长期来看，这些挑战只是智能电动汽车在以超速度的发展颠覆这个燃油车过程中间的一个暂时性的问题，同时对小鹏汽车是一种更好的磨练。我相信通过我们跟我们的供应商的共同努力，以及我们快速开发替代供应方案的能力，最终我们会克服这些挑战，并且取得更好的成绩。
Looking back on 2021, we have faced challenges stemming from industry-wide semiconductor and battery cell shortages. We would like to express our sincerest gratitude to our excellent supply partners for their great effort of Xpeng, for their great support for Xpeng. Amid the challenges, we developed and qualified hundreds of alternative supply solutions to safeguard and stabilize our supply chain. Entering 2022, the ongoing chip shortage and surge in price for raw battery materials continues to present a challenge for the whole industry. Nevertheless, these near-term obstacles cannot stop the long-term journey we are on, where smart EVs are accelerating the disruption of ICE vehicles at an unprecedented speed. And I believe this is going to be a good experience for us to continue to enhance our capabilities. I believe our ability to swiftly develop alternative supply solutions, coupled with concerted efforts with our suppliers, will help us overcome these challenges.
虽然在第一季度因为疫情的反复，但是我们仍然克服了供应链的挑战、季节性的因素以及疫情的各种挑战。我们预期在2022年第一季度，我们的总交付数量约在3.35万到3.4万辆，收入预计为人民币72到73亿之间。
As we have been striving to navigate market dynamics amid obstacles in the supply chain, the impact of COVID-19's recurrence, and the seasonality factors, we expect our smart EV deliveries to reach approximately 33,500 to 34,000 in the first quarter of 2022, and our total revenue to be between approximately 7.2 billion to 7.3 billion RMB.
谢谢大家。接下来，请我们财务 VP Dennis 为大家介绍一下小鹏汽车第四季度的财务表现。
Thank you, everyone. With that, I will now turn the call over to our VP of Finance, Mr. Dennis Lu, to discuss our financial performance for the fourth quarter of 2021.
Thank you, Xpeng, and hello, everyone. Now, I would like to provide a brief overview of our financial results for the first quarter of 2021. I will reference RMB only in my discussion today, unless otherwise stated. Our total revenues were 8.6 billion for the first quarter of 2021, an increase of 200% year-over-year, and an increase of 50% quarter-over-quarter. Revenue from vehicle sales were 8.2 billion for the first quarter of 2021, an increase of 199% year-over-year, and an increase of 50% from the last quarter, mainly attributable to high vehicle deliveries, especially for the P7 and P5. Our gross margin was 12% for the first quarter of 2021, compared with 72% for the same period of 2020, and 14.4% for 7.9 percentage points year-over-year. Vehicle margin reached 10.9% for the first quarter of 2021, compared with 6.8% for the same period of 2020 and 13.6% for the last quarter. The quarter-over-quarter margin reduction was primarily attributable to product mix changes. R&D expenses were $1.5 billion for the first quarter of 2021, an increase of 216% year-over-year and an increase of 14.8% quarter-over-quarter, mainly due to, one, the increase in employee compensation as a result of expanded research and development staff to support future growth. SG&A expenses were $2 billion for the first quarter of 2021, an increase of 120% year-over-year and an increase of 31% quarter-over-quarter. The year-over-year increase was mainly due to, one, higher marketing and advertising expenses to support vehicle sales, and two, the expansion of our sales network and associated personnel costs and commission for franchise store sales. The quarter-over-quarter increase was mainly driven by the expansion of our sales network and more sales commission in line with the higher vehicle sales. As a result of the foregoing, loss from operation was $2.4 billion for the first quarter of 2021, compared with $1.1 billion for the same period of 2020 and $1.8 billion for the last quarter. Fair value gain on long-term investments was $0.6 billion for the first quarter of 2021, reflecting the fair value assessment on our assessment on HT Flying Car Incorporation, or Huitian, after its Series A capital funding. As of December 31st, 2021, we invested approximately $0.6 billion and own approximately 18.8% of the equity interest in Huitian. Net loss was $1.3 billion for the first quarter, compared with $0.8 billion for the same period a year ago and $1.6 billion for the last quarter. As of December 31st, 2021, our company had cash and cash equivalent, restricted cash, short-term deposit, short-term investment, and long-term deposit, in total of $43.5 billion. We achieved a positive operating cash flow in the second half of 2021. And in the first quarter of 2021,
call, if you wish to ask your question, to ask a question. Your first question comes from the line.
问题也非常恭喜第一季度能够维持非常强劲的一个交付。那我这边有两个问题。提价的逻辑以及背后针对一些原材料和零部件今年。The early movers announcing to raise the prices. Could we get a rough sense about how did the company lay the foundation of 10 to 20,000 or 5 to 9% price hikes? What kind of cost inflation in batteries, raw material, chips, etc. have been pricing? So is the price increase just the right amount to cover the stock contracts, or also reflect Xpeng's adjustment?
谢谢这个问题，我是 Dennis。我先回答第一个问题。Let me respond to your questions regarding the price realignment. Actually, we increased our price at about 10 to 20,000 for the whole car lines in March 21st, starting from March 20th. For the whole car lines. According to the trend and also the components, we anticipate we will have the cost increase in the raw material as well as the battery. So we technically increase the price to cover the cost increase. That's the main driver of the price increase to basically to cover the potential cost increase for our the components cost.
好的，谢谢 Dennis。那我第二个问题是有关于Xpeng 的选装率。刚才小彭总也提到了，就是说目前的选装率可能是在20%左右。想要请问一下，就是当然一部分是因为可能比较低配置的车型过去一个季度销售比较多。那未来来看的话，我们也大概预期什么样的一个选 ？So my second question is about Xpeng take rate, because I just mentioned about 20%. So during the past quarter, but when do we expect more meaningful increase? 1 to 2 years? Is it likely to top 50%?
需要数据来表现。
I'm sorry. Percent, but again, that actually will depend on the future market
And your next question comes from the line of Jeff Chung with Citi.
小冯总，各位管理层好我是花旗的 Jeff。我想首先第一个问题，我想问一问有关这个我们可不可以把一季度的34000台的这个销量目标乘以4，是我们全年的最差的一个销量目标。是挑战1万台，那这个会是在什么时候？是这样的。那如果毛利率会是大概设计在怎么样的水平？那如果 G9 的这个销量是远远
Let me answer the question for you. Can you hear me? So first of all, we obviously, as our policy, don't give guidance on the sales number as well as individual model numbers. But I would say that obviously this quarter represents a quarter that's seeing a for the full year. We're confident with our new model launch. As well as further market. Second question is that on G9 SUV class, and you could also find benchmark models in that class, and we think it should be one of the top players in that category. And then I think in that vein, I think it should approach it like the P7 level. The third question is whether the P7 and G9 is interchangeable from a supply chain perspective. I think we hope by the time that G9 is started volume delivery towards the second half or the fourth quarter, the supply chain issue will get alleviated. But I think right now both models are representing high gross margin products for us in the high teens. So I think for us those are models that we will obviously make sure that it has adequate chip suppliers for its production.
谢谢 Brian 我还有一个问题追问一下，就是听说我们加完价以后就是我们自己做的调研，这个经销商的这个等待周期，就是提车的等待周期，差不多去到16到20个月，那就是基本上是4到5个月的这个 order backlog。就我想确认一下数字上我们是不是这么看的？So it is about the order backlog. After we raised the MSRP price, we saw a significant surge in new orders. So roughly speaking, right now the waiting time to get a car ranging from 16 months to 20 months, which implies around 4 to 5 undelivered order backlog. So I just want to clarify on these numbers. Thank you.
我觉得这里面有好消息有不好的消息我觉得不好消息最难的就是疫情所带来的供应链的挑战，特别是上海，因为上海是中国所有的这个汽车的供应链的最主要的城市之一这是不好消息。但是好消息是说我们在其他的包括了电信等相关领域里面的能力正在增强，所以在这个里面它有波动有风险，但是我觉得我们会努力希望能够做到比这个 希望这个可能的交付时间还更快这是我们努力的。
I think there's a mix of good and bad news with what's happening right now. Obviously, the bad news is the resurgence and recurrence of the pandemic, which really affect our supply chain, especially in cities such as Shanghai, because this is really the headquarters of all of the key suppliers of our company. And the good side of the story is that we are actually improving our overall capability in enhancing our battery cell supply. And so obviously there's a lot of disruption in the interruption in the market, and also there's a lot of risk, but we will do our best and be fully committed to speed up the delivery time.
就是说，现在这个磷酸铁锂的这个交付的瓶颈，它已经解除了嘛？那另外也想了解，是因为这个议价的过程还在进行，所以说也导致这个供应部分有一些紧，还是说是整个行业的这个铁锂的这个需求特别强，所以也导致我们这边就是在交付这边有一点比较慢。那另外就是说，是不是这个年底的话会有这个可能会有第四个这个电子供应商？那对，这是我的第一个问题。So my first question is regarding the battery supply situation. Currently, so you also delay some vehicle delivery. So what is the current situation? 那我的第二个问题是就是我们新平台的。那想了解一下，刚小洪总有提到，我们在明年的话，2款新车都会是未来可以 P7 加 G9 吧，然后为以后的3工厂武汉厂。
在某些方面，特别例如在越来越有信心，在关于电芯
Sorry, there's a lot of noise going on the line. LFP demand actually has surpassed our suppliers' capacity for batteries supply. So that's why we experience a lot of challenges in the supply chain. But going forward, we actually have been able to gradually alleviate this problem, and we are very confident that we can continue to improve the situation. And for the second half of this year and for the coming year, we are very confident that the overall supply chain shortages can be relieved to a certain extent. And then in response to your second question, we do have plant capacity for each single plant of ours, and through multiple shifts of working, we can actually maximize those capacity. And so what we are capacity. And so what we are doing right now is that we are trying to
Your next question.
在去年年底有400多亿人民币的现金，可不可以跟咱们深入讨论一下，我们这个现金在这个资本开支、还有研发跟销售这个费用，我们今年有什么一些想法，或是比较 high level 的指引？My question is really about the use of cash. By the end of last year, we had about 33 billion RMB cash on balance sheet. 开支还有研发跟销售这个费用，我们今年有什么一些
Let me respond to your billion cash last year. So our plan is to continue to improve the capital break even operating
some products grown
那么都会支持 Xpeng 4.0。
总好，管理层你们好，我有两个问题。第一个问题想问一下关于 G9，能不能可以给我们透露反出来说这个车可能只有5座版。的这样的一个贷款的授信额度，一个是11个亿，一个是30个亿。想问一下这两个工厂大概他们的这个 capex 总共的这样的一个投入分别是多少？好，my two question is about G9 and capex. So the first question is, could you please provide more details about G9 and what's the wheelbase of G9, and will there be a So what's the capex budget on Guangzhou?
As we mentioned
savings and also our率，是否还是会有比较保守，就相对去年一个更保守的一个预期，然后second question about the gross profit margin and also expense ratios guidance this year. And considering the current cost and our product price increase, how can you expect our gross profit margin this year? And also about the expense ratio, will our expectation of our R&D and SG&A ratios reflect a stronger